What's it like preparing to face Raheem?
You don't even think about it. The only thing I know in terms of Raheem and Nikki and his wife and his family and all that is my whole family's going out there to see them on Sunday, and my sister-in-law, Matt's wife, and their kids are going to go down. I mean, there's a lot of coaches on that staff, but when it comes to like just the ball aspect, it's our offense versus their defense and our players versus their players. So, and that's true.
Can you expand on that, on the football side of it? Is there tendencies that he does, though?
Yeah, I don't think you ever want to overthink that, because, obviously they know a lot about us. We know a lot about them. But if you start overthinking that, it's, hey, what do they do well? What do they put on tape? They're always going to have something, and I say just defenses in general, they're always going to have something that, they're going to do that we didn't prepare for, particularly when you have a guy like Matthew Stafford and what he's been able to do this year and throughout his career. So you're never surprised by any of it, and again, we know them, they know us, but ultimately, we go line up and go play ball.
They put a lot of assets into remaking that pass rush during the offseason. What do you see from that group?
Yeah, I see juice. I think, Rob, Brick, Nate, their D-line coach, they've done a great job of having a philosophy in terms of what they were looking for from a talent perspective. They brought that talent in. Those guys go, So there's a reason that they're number 2 in sacks. Our guys know that. Our guys know they got their, work cut out for them. But, no, a lot of respect for what they've done personnel-wise and then how they've gotten those guys to perform.
How are you feeling about your run game? Because they do have a pretty strong pass defense, but at least statistically, if they have a weaker spot, it would be their run defense.
Yeah, I always feel good about our run game because I trust our guys, but every week is hard. It's hard to run the ball, so in this league each and every week. But, we put a lot of time into it to try to put these guys in good positions, and then our guys, have to go out in there and execute it. But they know each and every week, regardless of what the numbers are, it's hard to run the football in this league. And they know we like to run it. We've ran it pretty well over the last month or 6 games or so. So, I'm sure they're going to have a plan for that as well.
In regard to what was going on with Puka last week and kind of in the aftermath of that, do you talk to him at all, or is that purely Sean's realm?
Yeah, I'll keep some of the stuff that Puka and I talk about, between us, but I just check up on all these guys, So sometimes organically, we'll talk about those kind of things. But Puka's a good dude, and he hears you, and I love that dude.
On that note, regardless of whatever's going on, what is it about Puka that he's able to turn it on game day? It seems every single time.
Yeah, he's different. He's just. You guys know him. He has. That smile when he's at the podium and when he's not playing ball, but when he straps it up for the 60 minutes he's out there, it's a pretty cool little deal. And he's always been like that. There's a reason he was a stud in high school and a big-time recruit, went to Washington. He was a stud at BYU. He just was kind of a little bit banged up here and there. I think you guys can see why, too, the way he plays. It's, you're going to get a little bit banged up at times, but no, there's not many people out there in this world that are like him in terms of when they put that helmet on.
It's always been a very strong culture with Sean to, if it's Wednesday, just focus on Wednesday. If it's Friday, just focus on Friday. Was that harder this week after what unfolded up in Seattle?
No, our guys they're just locked in for the day, for the week, focused on Atlanta. Like, win, lose, or draw, you're always going to learn from those experiences. But what's been so cool about this group, led by Sean, but these guys are all about just being present day to day, the practice. This obviously the week's been a little bit different. We haven't played since last Thursday. We obviously had yesterday off in terms of Christmas and all that. We don't play till Monday night, 8 o'clock, because obviously we're out East Coast. Oh, well, we're here today, just focused on the Thursday practice, if you will, getting our third down, our short yardage, finishing up kind of our base game plan. But with these guys, it's really simple.
And Kotwica is taking on a bigger role for the rest of the season. Like, what have you learned about him as a coach working with him?
Yeah, I got to know Ben pretty well this off season, and then obviously during the season you don't spend as much time with other areas of the staff outside of a staff meeting here and there. So, but he's a good dude. He's been a really good coach in this league. It's the circumstances are what they are. So no doubt he's going to do a great job.
I don't think there's a person who doesn't like Raheem. How would you describe your relationship with him and what it will be like on opposite sides of the field this time?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of my best friends. You know, I owe him a lot. It was 3 years under him. I kind of follow the way he studies the game. He taught me so much, how he studies offense, because he, you know, obviously was coaching offense in Atlanta for a few years before he came here. I kind of follow his routine of how he goes about breaking down opposing offenses. Pretty sure all our kids' furniture is comes from his house because we kind of followed them. So they're just great friends. He'll be a great friend for life. And but as far as the game goes, I mean, it's an opponent like anybody else. We have a lot of, you know, coaches and friends that we play against. Just, you know, if you're in this business long enough, that's just part of the deal. So you know, as soon as the ball's kicked off, it'll be fun to see him pregame, fun to see him before, and as soon as the ball's kicked off, we'll be ready to go.
You know, we've asked you about Byron Young and Jared Verse. Feels like every week this season, but just what was it like seeing their impact recognized with them getting selected to the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I was happy for him. You know, you feel for some of the guys, you know, that didn't get recognized. So that's kind of first where you know, your mind goes. But so happy for BY, and you know, obviously well deserved for both of them. And I think it's more of just not necessarily the sack numbers; it's the down in and down out play, how they're affecting the game, how much of an impact they have on our defense. So it's just awesome to see those guys get the recognition that they deserve.
What are you seeing from Kirk Cousins at this point in his career?
He's playing at a high level. I mean, he's obviously cerebral, sees the game, knows exactly where he wants to go with the ball. You know, most of this, you know, pretty much every snap, the ball is going to go exactly where it's supposed to go. Obviously, you could see, you know, with age comes a little bit with the mobility and things like that, but still playing at an extremely high level. And, you know, you can tell they want to get the ball in their playmakers' hands, and he's got a lot of them. So it's going to be a huge challenge.
Bijan Robinson, what kind of do you see with him?
I mean, he's probably, you know, you could make an argument, you know, best back, best skill player in the league, whatever it is, whether he's definitely in the conversation, and, you know, going to be one of the best skill players we see all year. And, you know, it's huge. It's the explosive play waiting to happen. He can make something out of nothing. Obviously, with the stretch run game, you know, him looking to cut back, whether it's the check down screens, just him getting the ball in space, and that's a danger. So we just got to be on it every single snap. We got a population tackle. We got to run to the ball. We got to play with great effort, and it's going to be a huge challenge.
Last few weeks, it seems like Kyle Pitts has been kind of tapping into some of that potential that made him such a highly regarded prospect coming out. Like, what are you seeing from him the last month or so?
For sure. You know, they're using him really well. You know, obviously he's got a receiver skill set that plays tight end. So they're moving him all around the formations, and they're getting him in the right spots where, you know, he's running the routes that he's really good at, and they're finding him and they're targeting him, and as they should. So, you know, he's a huge challenge. He's a matchup nightmare, really. No matter if he's covered, he's really not covered because of his size and his speed. And it's going to be a huge challenge. They're doing a great job kind of dispersing him around and getting him the ball.
The defense has been the beneficiary of two very good draft classes. How has the way that Les and the coaching staff put together, I guess, made such an impact for you and your defense?
Oh, I'm so thankful for our scouting staff and Les and everybody as a whole. You know, they really have a feel for guys that will have success, be a success in this defense and in this system. And you know, obviously going into our first year, or my first year as coordinator, having the class and some of the impact guys that we have that are still here, it's really guys that the main thing is guys that love football. And you know, we'll find ways to put them in the best position, or we'll try to. And you know, I think just us, the constant communication that we have leading up to the draft, I think is a really cool thing that we have here. And you know, constantly talking about the different guys, and it's really just guys that are smart, tough, love football, and you know, we'll try and find a role for them.
How rare is it, getting back to Verse and Young, in your experience, to have two edge rushers that can be, you know, so impactful? I know some teams have one, a dominant, and other people that play off that, but to have two of them, how rare is that, and how does that, you know, impact you?
Like I said, it's pretty thankful for it. You know, you know, there's obviously a few other teams I think that have some good pairs. You know, Houston, I know has a couple really good ones. But yeah, you obviously, when you have two, you know, they can only give really attention to one. It's really hard to kind of give so much attention to both guys all the time. So, you know, obviously Verse, you know, being the dominant rusher that he is, he's going to get a lot of attention, and you know, and now BY is starting to, you know, draw a lot of attention. So, you know, it is definitely something pretty rare, but we're thankful to have them both.
Ben Kotwica Kotwica is going to have a little bit bigger role these next few weeks. Like, what have you learned about him working with him the last year?
I mean, I've known him for a while, and he's a stud. He's got the military background. He's got great energy. Just love working with him every single day. You can see he's got the guy's real tight, kind of organized, tight, with a good pep in his step. And he loves football, and he's going to get those guys playing hard and playing fast.
With getting Roger back potentially this week and possibly Quentin down the road, what does that do for your defense?
It just brings another good football player that we can utilize our skill set. So, we'll take anybody that's healthy, especially at this time of year, that's healthy and played a lot of good football like Roger has. We're excited to see what he can do. It was unfortunate, we were expecting him to have a big role in that Tampa game when he came back, and he's unfortunate he got the injury that he did. So, he's going to use all that practice time, and he's been here a while now where he's used to our system. Hopefully we can use that and kind of figure out what he does best and put him in those positions. So, and obviously excited to get Q back whenever that day comes.
Chris, obviously, all this week, it's all about Atlanta and scheming for Atlanta. Is there any part in your preparation that takes that crappy feeling, that crappy, hey, we lost energy, or don't let this happen again?
It's as soon as we got on the field, whatever day it was, Wednesday, you're moved on. It's just it was a long time. It felt like from you play that Thursday game till it's almost 6 days till you get back on the field practicing against another team. And but yeah, we're all in on the Falcons, and no matter what happened, whether we won, whether we lost, it doesn't matter. And as soon as you get on the field and you start practicing plays and making corrections and playing football, it all kind of goes away.
Hope everybody's having a good holiday. Excited to get out to Atlanta on Monday night and open up any questions you may have.
What has the last week been like for you?
It's been good. Love the way that our guys are focused on the task at hand. I've been doing this for a long time, so what I really like is our intentionality, and really excited to be part of a championship football team, and our group's ready to contribute to that.
Sean said he wanted to give you notice that you would be filling as interim coordinator as early as possible going into the mini-bye. What did that extra time allow you to do as you prepared for this week as coordinator?
Yeah, it's been beneficial, and so allowed you to take care of some steps. Called up Coach Matt Harper, who's going to help me out. A lot of respect for Matt. When I was in Washington in those years, Matt was the assistant in Philadelphia, and just knew him as a person and a professional, and he's jumped right in and tackled the tasks that we've asked him to. So that with the meetings and the walkthroughs and the practice. So that extra time allows us a little bit of space, but we'll be ready to rock and roll Monday night.
How did your responsibilities change with the switch?
Well, you just go from assistant to the coordinator. So my responsibility has always been to help our guys and put them in the best position to execute their tasks. So that just gets expanded. And so, again, not a role that I'm not familiar with. Again, 18 years in the league. And so rely on that knowledge, that experience, and just working with the guys. That's what inspires me, is when you see these guys each day in the meetings wanting to do right, that really inspires me to do better for them.
What has to be different? I mean, Sean obviously felt a change was needed. What will change, or what do you hope to change?
I think we're always improving. Whether you're winning games or losing games, behind the scenes, there's always corrections that are made. We've had a couple plays that have cost us during the course of the year, but I love the way that our guys are going about the business. They understand the urgency. We're part of a championship football team, and we're just ready to contribute to holding up that Lombardi early next year.
Congrats on the Pro Bowl recognition.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. Just all my hard work in the past few years. Learning from my mistakes and trying to be better at my position, and just taking a better approach to this offseason. I feel like it paid off. So definitely proud of myself on that.
How did you find out?
Excuse
How
me?
did you find out?
I was working out, and Coach McVay walked in there and showed me and Verse made it, and then I just ran the verse and was celebrating. But it was definitely one of the moments where I was really happy about.
You guys have been like such a duo the last 2 years, you and Jared. What does it mean to share this with him?
It means a lot, like I say, since he got in the league, I feel like, we've been feeding off each other. He bringing energy to the team and just making me be a better player. And I just feel like it's finally paying off and showing, people getting the recognition that we need. So
It was described that you guys are like brothers sometimes, that are push each other, fight, all that stuff?
Yeah.
How would you describe it?
The same way, we got that type of relationship where, we always joke with each other, we always play fighting, but at the same time, we push each other to be better, hold each other accountable, and I feel like that's why we, been successful.
It's such an honor to be named just to get to the NFL. Did you think coming out of college someday I'm going to be a Pro Bowl?
Not gonna lie to you, no. I always had, high hopes for that, and my mission was to do that. But I never just, automatically think, oh, be a Pro Bowler. I knew that's pretty hard to do. So just being one of the guys to be chosen is really happy about that.
You took such a pointed approach to the offseason in terms of the way you took care of your body and prepared for this year after Michael's departure. Like, what has it been like to kind of see the fruits of your labor on the field?
Just really, like I said, I'm really proud of myself and happy about everything. Like you said, when Michael left, I felt like I had to step up and be, a better veteran and just play my role better and be more intentional about everything and being a better leader in our room. So just taking that approach and, just seeing it all pay off is really, really amazing, to be honest.
Have you seen a difference in the way teams are approaching you as the season has gone on in terms of how much attention you're getting in terms of being stopped?
Yes, I say, I've been getting chipped a little bit more, getting guard help a little bit. Definitely seen that a few times. So, just something I just feel like it's another step for me to be better and just work on my craft and find ways to win at the end of the day. But, just no excuse to not win, but I just got to keep on going and just look at it as an op. And, that just means you're being better as a player. Mm-hmm. So.
Any disappointment that more defensive guys weren't named to the Pro Bowl?
Can you say that again?
Any disappointment that other teammates weren't named?
100%. Just looking at the body of the work that a lot of the guys are doing, and just seeing them, not really, making the Pro Bowl is like, don't like it, but I definitely know it's going to be like a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be hungry, motivation, so I love that part too. But, definitely was surprised on some of the guys not being named.
Off the field, are you and Jared, do you guys hang out? I mean, are you guys as close off the field as you seem to be in the locker room?
Yeah, we are. He always said I'd never show up to dinner when he invite me, but part of that is true. But I'm just like to myself. But I do pull up sometimes to dinner. But we definitely got friendship off the field and stuff like that. And we sometimes do stuff together. So yeah.
What are you seeing from this Atlanta run game?
Having a back like him, Bijan Robinson, definitely a guy that's, top in the league, probably if not the best, could do everything, run the ball and receive the ball. So, just got to be smart with him. Got to play at 11 as one and, got to swarm to the ball.
What impresses you? Earlier this season, Raheem said he was the best player in the league. What impresses you most about him?
Just the way he could make guys miss. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I feel like he turned a negative run into a positive just like that. So it's like watching him play and just the detail and the focus he have, you definitely got to key him, play really smart. You got to be disciplined. You got, like I said, you got to play 11 as one. He'll hurt the whole team. So
it's going to be strange to see Raheem on the other sideline.
Not that much. I mean, I was with him 1 year, so, he taught me a lot, but, that was my rookie year. But it would be good to see him, though, for sure.
So I think this is the first time we've spoken to you since you were fined. Just what your did you expect that, and what was your reaction to it?
That one it definitely hurt, but I think it was just something I was expecting. And yeah, just I guess a learning moment, an experience to learn from, and man, to never let happen again. And the opportunities of, man, there's going to be moments of frustration later on in the career, whether it's ups and downs on my personal half or on the team's half. So just being able to manage those emotions and be able to send that energy in the right direction.
I'm assuming you're happy to have that week behind and looking ahead?
100%. I mean, Christmas, I'm like, I'm glad there was something like a big thing going on, like something that would kind of push everything to the previous week. So it's been nice to enjoy, celebrate, and rejoice, and then get ready for what's ahead of us.
What did it mean to you to be named to the Pro Bowl?
It was exciting. I feel like it was an offensive award. I think Coleman Shelton and Big Rob were some of the first guys to congratulate me. And just thinking, I'm like, man, I can't do without you guys. I mean, it starts up in the front, and I think I hope they know that comes from the truest meaning of my heart, and because of that, that's where it is, and that's how you should play the game of football, is how they do it in the trenches.
What's it mean to you to kind of share that with Matthew?
I think it's fun. I know there's been some of the things of after my rookie year of just like, man, Matthew having great wide receivers and leading them to great seasons. And I'm like, there's nobody I'm more grateful for than number 9. From the moment I walked in and then to the conversations we have now, man, there's nobody I'd rather be catching balls from, but also to go out there on the football field with. I think everybody in our locker room feels that same way.
Everyone talks about how strong Matthew is mentally. What does he, when he's giving you guys the play call, what is he taking off your load mentally with how long that play call is and kind of the information he's communicating to you?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it could be narrowed down to just catch the ball, kid. I mean, there's a lot of thinking and there's a lot of pain that he goes through to get that ball in the spot that he believes that is the opportunity for us to make a play. And man, I think of we had a third down conversion just barely in the Seattle game where, man, he takes a shot, he stands in there and delivers the ball in the one spot it can be, and we're able to convert. And it's everybody's like, man, a contested catch, and be like, oh, you watch it and you watch back of like, man, there's a guy staring down the barrel right now, and being able to, in year 17, take that blow. And so you never take those moments for granted.
Is he giving you guys tidbits when he's giving you guys the play call?
I think there is, to some degree, of things that we have either talked through the week or things that might be changed and based on what we're seeing on the sidelines. But I know if there's a piece of information to help us go out there and execute, it's definitely going to come out of his mouth.
You've been especially productive the last 3 games. Seems like you're really kind of on a roll, maybe making a push for other postseason recognition. What do you kind of attribute this most recent run to for you personally?
I think just the excitement that has been in our locker room, man, I think of the time that I get to spend with number 9 while we're watching other people's tape in the morning and we're talking about plays, or while we're in the install, just the information that we're going to be able to make these plays come to life. It's something super fun. We've had some different concepts. We're going in the year. People are watching what we do, and there's a moment of truth out there when you're going out there to call those plays to execute to its finest, and I feel like we've been thriving in those moments. So it's been fun to have those pressure moments because that's what you play sports for. You live for the third down, the fourth down conversions, and just whatever way you're finding whatever way to convert. But it makes it fun when those opportunities come up.
Would you say the excitement in the locker room the last few weeks, has that been different these last few weeks? Does it feel like you guys are kind of building up towards January now?
I'd say there's something that, man, when you go out there and I feel like to prepare the way we do, I mean, I think it was funny. We were out there. This is our first Thursday without pads today, and some of the guys being like, man, like we don't have pads on. So I think there's just an excitement to continue to go out there and improve ourselves. And so it makes it fun when we get the reward you want on Sunday.
Wrapping up your second season as one of the NFL's top receivers, how does a little kid in you feel, fantasizing about being in the NFL and all of that stuff and being one of the top players?
I think, yeah, it's something that I've mentioned before. I feel like I am truly blessed, but I imagine myself having success in the NFL, but I never imagined it to this measure. So I'm extremely grateful for the people around me who've helped me while I've been in the NFL, and then my family who's been supporting me throughout this lifelong journey. But it's been really fun, and I'm like, the journey's not over yet, so I still got to do more.
This game.
Go ahead, sir.
This game won't be in the elements, but you've played in a couple cold weather games this season. Is there anything you do specifically to prepare to play in the cold?
Ooh, I normally do prefer the shiesty. It does get difficult sometimes when they squirt you with the water and then you start to kind of like suffocate. So I'm like, it maybe lasts like a series or two. But then I'm like, the big jackets, I'm like, I want that to the last second, to the rest, kick everybody out of the huddle. I'm like, I want to be as warm as possible. I'm like, sometimes I'm like in a mini sauna. I'm sweating so much in those things.
Obviously, you had an enormous game on Thursday Night Football. Was that a coincidence and I ask because now you're playing on Monday Night Football. Is it a big deal to play on Monday Night Football, or is it another game?
I think it's exciting because this is the opportunity for us to kind of to come back and to have a response, and I think that's something that we're all looking forward to, knowing how the result not going our way and the opportunity. This is how we get to show that we've improved and we learned from that experience.
Playing against Raheem Morris this year, do you see any DNA of him in the defense you're preparing to face?
I think 100%. I think there's a confidence in how they play and the ability to trust yourself, and so I think it's fun, especially being the DB coach and the great mouthpiece that Coach Ra has and the way he can articulate words and man, get everybody to perform at their best. I think is something that makes this game of football super fun. So it'll be an exciting challenge.
How was your Christmas?
It was cool. I mean, I didn't get to go see my family or anything like that since it was just one day off, but just get off the legs for a little bit longer was pretty cool. Got on the phone with my family, got to see them, everything like that. See my nephew open a couple presents. It was cool.
How about congrats on the Pro Bowl recognition?
Thank you.
How is that for you personally, and also to share that with Byron?
Yeah, I mean, personally, it's an incredible honor. Obviously, one of the top players in the league and be able to be recognized for that, be able to, have that opportunity to go to the games and everything like that. Obviously, I don't want to go. I'm not planning on going or anything like that. But, to be, elected for it and everything like that, just make my, feel like my presence, the things I'm doing, my impact's not being let up. Why are you in here? Didn't I tell you to go it's not being taken advantage of. But to do it with BY, it was amazing. Like, I wish y'all could have saw, like, when we both found out, Sean told both of us we was on opposite sides. I was on the field, he was in the weight room, and we found out, and he came running out. It was kind of weird the way we, like, hyped up each other. It was a little weird. But, like, just enough. I will not describe it. I will not describe it. But it's good. Like, BY's, like, genuinely somebody I consider a brother. I think, like, besides football, take away football from my life, his life, I think me and him would be friends, just, interacting with each other. So that's somebody I genuinely consider a brother.
Why was it so important for you to see his reaction? Can you give us that?
The amount of work BY puts in. Like, I know a lot of people only see the impact on the field and everything like that, and people hype him up because of how much sacks he gets and the pressure and everything like that he does. But like to see the amount of work he puts in, to see it finally pay off, not just this year, but even last year when I was being an incoming rookie, to see it finally pay off. Like you saw the light in his eyes, like how happy he was to share with his family. He immediately went outside, called his mom, called his family, and everything like that. I was like, but nobody deserves it more than him.
He said he was telling us you were busting his chops for not showing up for dinner at his house. Can you describe how that relationship has helped you?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like, being BY, I would get on BY for anything. Like, I saw him trip the other day, and I clowned him for, like, 2 days. Like, it's hilarious. But, just see the, the things that, like, he does and everything like that, and our relationship, how it can translate to the field. Like, BY is somebody I genuinely talk to outside of here. If I have any problems in my personal life, me and him will be talking to each other. You'll see me and him, like, it goes from, like, smiley to, like, a real serious relationship because that's somebody I genuinely count on. If I'm going through a tough time, I come to him and vice versa.
What, people in our business, we often focus on stats, and I'm sure you guys want to accumulate them as well. But what does it mean to you as someone who isn't necessarily among the league leaders in sacks, but to get that recognition from peers and coaches and fans?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, not getting the stats can be frustrating at times, especially like me. I'm not a big social media guy. I might be on Instagram here and there, but I'm not like, you're not going to see me on Twitter or anything like that. I don't think I've posted in months. But like, when you get on, social media and people are yelling at you like, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Some dude threatened me because I didn't get a sack for him and I messed his parlay up. I'm like, what are you gonna do to me, bro? Like, let's be honest. But like, it can be frustrating at times, but to know my impact still being felt, and I might be getting doubled here, I might be getting a chip here, and I can't do anything more than what I'm doing. Like, I'm trying my hardest. So to know that my impact still being felt is a good feeling.
Do you like playing on Monday Night Football?
I'm sorry, so what happened?
Does Monday Night Football feel different because it's Monday night?
Yeah, I mean, not really to me. I just kind of like, in my head, I mentally mess with myself and just be like, all right, every day is one day back. Like, to me, today's like Saturday or something, Thursday, whatever it is. I'm not even sure. I don't even check the days, but everything's a blur. I'm not going to lie to you.
How are you feeling thus far? This far into the season, how's your body feeling?
I feel good. I mean, I feel like I've been taking pretty good care of my body. I've been doing a lot of extra stuff that, my rookie year I kind of learned that needs to be done to be able to make it this far in the season. I feel like that's probably one of the biggest jumps I've made is, on the off-the-field stuff. And I feel good. I feel like.
BY said he's felt like some changes in how teams are approaching him in terms of blocking and things like that. I'm curious if there's any trickle-down effect to how you're feeling, if you feel any impact from teams paying him more attention on the other side of the line.
Nah, I mean, not really. I still, like, I every now and then I'll get, like, a, one-on-one and stuff like that, but I'm still getting the similar chips. I'm still getting, similar this, similar that. It's not anything that's really too crazy affecting me. It does help the interior guys, though, because now these tackles have to kick out a little bit more for me and him, so now the B-gaps are wide open and everything like that. It really does help when me and him line up right next to each other, though. That's when it helps the most, because now they might be able to chip him. The tackle kind of sits on me, and he can just rush right by him.
How do you deal with, like, if there is any frustration from how much attention you get? Like, is it, like, you obviously know you're helping your teammates out with that attention, but, like, how do you kind of, like, internalize that or whatever?
I just take it as I'm like very harsh on myself. I just take it as you're not doing enough. You got to be better. Like, you can't get blocked by 2 people. That's not something that should be able to happen to you. You can't be getting chipped. You have to be better than that. I take it as I have to be better. So I will be better. That's the only way I can think about it as. It's not oh, my teammate's this or my teammate's that, or woe is me. I got to be better.
You guys are
Go ahead, sir.
You guys are not playing in the elements this week, but you've played in some cold games this year. Is there anything you do personally to prepare for a cold weather game?
I don't change anything up for me. I mean, some people wear ski masks pre-games, go shirtless. I did that one time, not happening again. It's not happening again. I don't prepare too much differently than that. It's just kind of like go out there, play. Obviously, you'll be a little cold, but some teams, like most teams, got like heaters on the sideline, so just go out there, ball out, warm yourself back up on the sideline.
When did you go shirtless and what happened?
It was the Jets game last year when we went there. That was the coldest game I've ever played in my life. And at Albany, we used to practice in the snow, so that's saying a lot. No, it was freezing that game. We on the sideline, me and BY looked at each other. I was like, "But I'm not doing that again. That's not happening again."
What's the story behind BY sometimes not showing up to dinner when you invite him?
Bro, BY is the worst person in the world because he'll look you in your eyes, you'll genuinely believe him. He'll be like, "But I'm gonna be there." I'm like, "But you can just tell me no." And I'm like, "But I'm not gonna take offense to it. Like, you can just say no." He's like, "Nah, but I'm gonna be there." So one dinner actually, we go. I texted him and I'm like, "Hey, but we're going to dinner." Yada. I'm like, "I'm leaving right now because I live farther than him." He's like, "All right, but I'm on the way." I said, "But you actually?" But he's like, "I'm on the way." I passed out and said, "Hey." He's like, "I'm walking out the door now." I said, "Okay." I get there. He's like, "Hey, but I'm pulling up. I'm 20 minutes away." I said, "Okay, but." I get inside. 20 minutes past. I call him. He doesn't answer. He calls me back, lets it ring one time, and hangs up. And I didn't hear from him the rest of the night. So I don't trust BY anymore.